Okay, so might as well take a chance here and do a quick little review of the TenaciWong Trials bike. This one is a 2019. Done a couple of things too. I stripped all the factory stickers off, just personal preference as well. These ones here, they were all over the damn bike. I kept them at the bottom there just for a little bit of frame protection, but really no need to have them on there otherwise. I did throw a headlight on. I think I'm going to take it off. That's more, I trail ride this, so I guess really I should start off right off the bat and say, yes, I'm reviewing a trials bike, but I am by no means a trials rider. Okay, I try. I have some fun with it. Main idea buying this bike was something to improve my skills. All right. And it has done that. It certainly helped. I'm a lot more comfortable up on the pegs and a lot more comfortable in general just with any bike I've been hopping on as of late. So yeah, bark busters and a headlight, just minor things to protect the bike a little bit. So again, I'm not a great trials rider, so I don't know how relevant this review is going to be. It's basically going to be more about reliability, I guess. And in that regard, it's been great. I've never had an issue with it that wasn't self-induced. I did have an issue with the wiring. I guess on this 2019, the wiring was a little bit different than the 2018. And when I wired in the kill switch, that's the magnetic kill switch that's required for a lot of the trials events, it actually melted down the harness, which was to do with the way it's wired and the changes rather than an error on my behalf. So that was dealt with. Langs was very, very quick to recognize the problem and deal with it. It didn't cost me anything, which I kind of feel bad. I should have given a little something for it, but great guys over there at Langs, which is where I bought this bike. So again, it's been great. I guess I did change the shift lever. I put the Apico shift lever on there. It just brings it a little bit up and out of the way. I found it was a little bit low. I was catching it. It was kind of sitting, the tip was kind of sitting in this area here, and it didn't really give you much of an opportunity to move it up without getting into the case. So this one was definitely a plus. Let's see, what else? I really haven't done anything to it other than clean it up, strip it down type thing. I do have a little spark arrestor that a homemade one that I put on there for when we're trail riding to keep legal. Other than that, like aside from the wiring issue, it's been fantastic. It's the brakes are good. Clutch feel is actually quite nice. It is a hydraulic clutch on this bike. Even starting in the dead of winter, if you stab the battery a couple of times before you actually attempt to start it, it fires right up. A couple of times this winter, I thought it was going to be close. It chugged a couple of times. You walk away from it for a couple of minutes and then come back to it and it would fire right up. So pretty simple startup on this one. Flip the switch over to arm the system. I could actually hear the fuel injection kind of priming itself and fires right up. So it is a little on the loud side when you get into it. It can backfire a little bit here and there, but it still runs fantastic. So it's power wise, like, yeah, it's not a big enduro monster, but for what I do, puttering around, for what I do with the puttering around and just playing around in the pit here, and even when I'm chasing the wife on the single track, this has more than enough. So and more than capable. Like, I'm a big guy in the riding gear, walking around. I'm 270 give or take, given the day, and 6'2". So the ergos on a trials bike are a little bit tight in that regard. I do have a small bar riser on this bike, but it was actually more to be able to get the bar pad underneath it, because the bars were essentially tight to the triple clamp. So it's really only like a 1/2 inch or a 3/4 bar riser. So that doesn't really change a whole lot as far as ergonomics go. Again, power wise, reliability, clutch is really nice. Hydraulic clutch on this. This is the 200 liquid cooled, by the way, 2019. TenaciWong 200 liquid cooled. So yeah, as far as like these are just little wee. I'm just puttering around in second gear. It's it's not a big enduro beast. It is only a 200 4-stroke, but a lot of the actual enduro riding I've been doing, I've been on that little Honda over there. That's my wife's little CRF 150, and in all honesty, when you get into the single track, that's more than enough. So with this thing, I can more than keep up. The difference is, because you're up on the pegs, you do get tired quicker. There is a little seat that comes with this, and when I am trail riding, I do have the seat on this bike, but it's more to get you from A to B or connecting trails. Like to actually be down on that seat, you're sitting so low, to get up off the seat is a bit of a struggle. At least with my fat ass it is. Again, it's more to kind of help you out. There's a little bit of storage under the seat too. You throw a bottle of water, or even a bottle of fuel or something, I suppose. I guess that'd be the other thing. Fuel consumption, pretty good. I've done a 25k ride on this bike without having to refuel. It was getting low. The fuel pump was getting to be visible in the tank when that happened. Here, I'm gonna shut this off. But yeah, the fuel consumption on this thing is pretty decent. Nice that it's got a clear tank. I'm not sure if you can see the level there. It's up, but yeah, there you go. So this is 2019 TenaciWong 200 liquid cooled, and yeah, I would definitely recommend it. Again, this is coming from the perspective of a trials newbie, and just a guy that likes to putter around and enjoy the ride. So in that regard, if you're looking for something that's going to improve your skills and not break the bank at the same time, and even if it's just a matter of you want to get into a trials club, I know they've got the 150 air-cooled version of this bike for really cheap right now. I think there was a promotion before taxes and PDI in the neighborhood of 3,500 bucks, which is just dirt cheap. This one new, 62 or 6,300 plus taxes. It sounds like a lot, but if you compare that to any other new trials bike on the market, price-wise, this has them beat by a better part of $3,000 to the next closest competitor, as far as I know. I'm sure somebody will correct me with that, but yeah, so 2019 TenaciWong 200 trials bike. Yeah, you get an opportunity to give one a test ride, I would recommend it. Certainly a different experience, and for doing this sort of stuff, especially puttering around with all the little hills here. I've got a couple of little trials courses up, or sections I should say, that I've set up over the last couple of years in here. Just nothing taped off, but certainly a couple up in here too. You get an idea where they are over time. It's just something to play around, practice with. But yeah, again, get a chance to test ride one, I would highly recommend it. I'm sure it doesn't compare to the latest beta offering or a gas or any of the high-end ones, but you know, for what it's worth, I would definitely say it's worth the money. All right, talk to you later, guys.